Welcome to Good Day at 4. Here's Marilee McAuliffe and Storm Tracker 13 weather with Chief Meteorologist Spencer Atkins. Now, Good Day at 4.
Important reminder now, as daylight saving time begins at 2 a.m. Sunday, meaning the sun sets earlier and we gain a precious hour of sleep. For some, the change can have adverse health effects, but like it or not, the practice of falling back continues. Joining us now once again with some things to keep in mind is cardiologist Dr. Fahmi Farah. Join us on Good Day at 4. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure to be on your show.
I feel like a lot of folks are a little more okay with the idea of falling back, but nonetheless, it can still affect us in some ways. How can the change in time affect our bodies?
You're right. Even though we're gaining an hour, it can still affect us in a number of ways. First of all, by, affecting our circadian rhythm, which is our biological clock, so to speak, that kind of governs how we sleep and the pattern. How we can offset that, I tell my patients, start a little bit earlier, usually a week earlier. Try in increments of 10 to 15 minutes of sleep time, like ahead of time. That way, by the time that 1 hour change happens, your circadian rhythm doesn't actually feel it. So there will be no more sleep disturbance.
And that's the best thing to do. What about for folks who haven't been practicing that in the days leading up to? What about maybe foods that we should or shouldn't introduce in the process? Certainly, we should pay attention to our caffeine intake. Would that be something to consider?
Certainly, I would say try to not drink too much energy drinks in the days leading to it, especially the day of. Also, if you could avoid caffeine, like in the evening times. So try not to drink any caffeine after, say, 3 or 4 p.m. I think that would be helpful.
What's the biggest complaint from folks during daylight saving time, whether it's in the fall or in the spring? What are most people complaining about?
Usually it is the sleep disturbance, but there's some amount of anxiety associated with it too, because even though it's 1 hour, you're having to make some shifts the days leading up to it. But I will say it has more impact on your health than we think. For instance, we've had studies that show that the rate of heart attack goes up in the days leading after the daylight saving time. And what the reason is exactly, we don't know. It could be the anxiety associated with it. It could be the sleep disturbance itself. As you know, sleep disorder is now a risk factor for cardiovascular disease, and it's named as one of the major risk factors by the American Heart Association.
Is there anything else you'd like to add? It's always so nice to have you on the show.
I think sleep is very, very important, and I will encourage everybody to not engage in unhealthy behaviors. Like, some people might drink a little extra alcohol to be able to go to sleep early or whatever to offset this change. I would definitely advise against that and continue with your healthy behaviors like eating healthy, exercising. Don't give up on those.
It's good advice year-round, really, to take care of ourselves. Dr. Fahmi Farah, thanks so much for joining us on Good Day at 4.
Thank you for having me.